Boy, hey, thanks for joining me again. Alright, let's play some more Survival Plus. This is where I play Fallout 4 on the survival difficulty with all the following extra rules of engagement. And we are upon a stunted Yagwe, and this Yagwe took Dogmeat out of the action right away. As usual with the Yagwes, I try to take the high ground somewhere. He manages to claw me a good one though. And, see, there we go. Tripled me up. So this is serious now, because I know Dogmeat's not gonna last long. So I have to dance around this car, and I've given up on the combat rifle now. I realize that this auto pipe rifle, wow, does it ever perform? Check this out. Takes down the Yagwe like a hot knife going through butter. Okay, just hotkeying some Nuka cherries. Grab the meat. Briefly considering taking that elevator up there to see if I could take on some high-level gunners or whatever, probably gunners, to see if I could get their some of their gear, but then, you know, quickly decided against it. And I finally decided to take a Radaway, as risky as this is, because this will give you suppressed immunity, which means that you have an increased chance of getting a disease, which is, you know, that's just wonderful, eh? You know? Yeah, that red bar on my HP bar is getting a little too big. And there we go. So begins the attack of the blood bugs. We're going to be seeing lots of these in the next 15 minutes or so as we get into the Greater Mass Blood Clinic, which is just south of Fort Hagen, rather. Okay, Dogmeat is close to zeroing on Fort Hagen. He often gets stuck there. Fortunately, he didn't get stuck long. How many of you out there are attempting to follow along with this walkthrough? Post a comment, let me know. I'm very curious. Or, let's say, a modified version of the rules of engagement of Survival Plus. Post a comment. I know at least one of you out there is trying to follow along.
What do you think, boy?
Exactly the way I'm playing
it.
Is
this our man?
Let me rephrase that. How many of you out there are insane enough to play Survival Plus? No, actually, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It really teaches you a lot about the game. As I mentioned before, it really teaches you about the value of what you would previously consider as total crap in the way of weapons and armor. Check back a Nuka cherry. I mostly hotkeyed those just to empty out my inventory. Don't want to throw them away. Use them as health recovery items. Okay, so here we are. Fort Hagen. Now I'm going to send Dogmeat to Hangman's Alley once his duty is finished here.
Is this the place? Is he in here, boy?
There we go.
Hey.
So he's available to become a companion.
How
We
you
don't
doing,
want that.
buddy?
Dismiss.
Why don't you wait at home, boy?
And send him off to defend Hangman's Alley. He doesn't seem too eager to go. And then I get the idea, I wonder if Dogmeat has anything like of value on him. So like,
Hey,
I go into
boy.
his trade menu.
Mind if we swap some things around, Dogmeat?
Now, I want to come here to typically to loot some food, but then this gang of super mutants is approaching, and one of them is a suicider. You can see his red light flashing. So, boom. It's exit stage left. I do not want to mess with them. I do not want to mess with those guys. Not at all. And watch, you can see, I think Dogmeat engaged them. And so the suicider goes off. Ba-boom, there you go. So, yeah. Glad I'm not around for that. But then these guys ended up chasing me a little too quickly into the Greater Mass Blood Clinic area. I wanted to go here anyways. But I wanted to, you know, take a more of a strategic approach. And now I'm right in the thick of things. All these bugs are a force to be reckoned with. You'll see in a minute or two. One of them takes me down to within an inch of my life. Now, I'd like to save the game here, have a sleep. I know there's a bug down there, and I know the game's not going to let me do it because I'm in combat. You can hear it buzzing around down there. And sounds like those super mutants have either engaged the turrets at Fort Hagen or are still engaged with Dogmeat. Okay, so I must eliminate this bug below me so that I can save the game and not lose any progress. Offload an extra short combat rifle. Down we go. And there it is. I find in many instances the this auto pipe rifle with the ridiculous steampunk scope on it is actually better shooting from the hip, firing from the hip. There we go. Managed to get our sleep on. Now I think what I did, if I recall correctly, is I spammed the sleeping bag till morning, possibly, which would explain why it's nice and bright now. This is a little too far away. And he is gone. That's okay. Alright, now, the password for this is downstairs behind a locked door. To get behind the locked door, we're going to have to use a key. And the key is right, boom, there. Grab the key. Go downstairs to the blue door. Downstairs to the right is where we're going to collect a whole bunch of blood packs, which is one of the main reasons I'm here. Blood packs are perfect for this kind of run. Any kind of survival run. You know, not just a survival plus run. Any kind of survival run. Because blood packs recover 50 HP and they only weigh 0.1 each. So you can pack like 50 blood packs and it only weigh 5 pounds. And that is a great score. Did you see that? I scored some antibiotics. Great. Finally. So finally I have more than one antibiotics. So I have some options now. So hack into this terminal. Have you guys noticed that they're piling a lot more words into terminal puzzles now? Since a certain patch, like I think since they released survival for consoles, they put out a patch to update everybody. And since that patch, there's like 20 words in novice terminal puzzles, whereas before there'd be like maybe 12 tops. Anybody knows that? It's like a ridiculous number of words. Anyways, I'm hungry, so let's nosh on some food. I'm just eating the heavy stuff. I'm not eating the, you know, the most strategic stuff. Which, according to a load screen tip, is you organize your food by value, and then the food that is the most valuable is the food that's most likely to satisfy your hunger. Supposedly. I've seen some discrepancies in that though. Okay, so quickly emptied out the inventory. Grab some bloat fly meat to go. That is, I don't intend on carrying it long. It's going to be one of the first things I eat if I need to recover health. And back upstairs to get into that room with the password. We now have the blood clinic password rather. Alright, we're in. Now, I'd forgotten that there was no enemies in here. I thought there were. I must have been thinking of something else. So I got all ready to kick ass and there's nobody in here. Couple of blood packs rather here. There is a Massachusetts surgical journal on that desk there. I completely forgot about it, although really it's not applicable since I'm not using VATS, and it's, you know, it's only plus 2% limb damage, so if you're not using VATS, it's going to be a pretty negligible bonus, especially if you're only getting one. There's 9 of those. Each one is 2%, so you could get possibly 18% limb damage. So there we go. Open up the safe. Grab the ammo. Nothing we can do with the chemistry station. I was just checking to see if there's anything inside it. Loot that first aid kit. And let's go downstairs. After I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah, right. Now that I started a blood pack collection, I'm hockeying it as my main health recovery item. So once again, I figured out shoot from the hip, especially with these bugs. Okay, always downstairs there's a high level bug. Typically a high level blood bug. Typically an infected blood bug. Which is a force to be reckoned when you're ready for it. When you're like, you know, playing, you know, Fallout 4 normally, quote, end quote. Being grossly underpowered as I have. Yeah, this thing took me down to within an inch of my life. Here it's coming at me. Infected blood bug comes at me. And check it out. Now it's time for an emergency sanitation. Into the AIDS screen rather, and gobble down a Nuka-Cola Quantum. That's what I save them up for, these kind of emergencies. Because they recover a whopping 400 HP. And the best thing about them is they don't stop working even when your HP bar is full. They keep working until you've used up all the 400 HP. So they're kind of like a timed health recovery thing. Great for you know, any kind of boss battle or yeah. So survived that by the skin of my teeth, literally. Here, I'm giving the combat rifle another shot. Simply because it has better iron sights on it. And I was just checking the damage according to my adrenaline count. It's not bad. I suppose if you could, like, you know, you practice with it, you could probably put it to good use. The problem is the low fire rate. It's only 33. Most other semi-automatic weapons are around between 40 and 50. Okay, so that infected blood bug is down there. I'm not going to take any chances. Down goes some grenades. I don't think it even bothered him. They creep down with a combat rifle. Yeah, tough little bugger. Pun intended. Now that guy should have given up something more than that, being as tough as he was. But I guess because he's guarding this huge stash of blood packs, I guess that's justified. So grab the jet. Nothing else we can grab here. Briefly consider grabbing the syringer rifle, and then I remember I can't craft anything, so that's useless. A couple of bottles there. Change my pardon me, changed my mind about picking up those blowfly meats. And here we go, the big stash of blood packs in the blood storage refrigerator room. You can get anywhere from 35 to 45 blood packs here. I'm very seriously considering this. I do take it on to compare it to the sniper rifle. This I don't want because the submachine gun is way better.
That's it.
Good score there. Okay, now I just skipped ahead. I was kind of dicking around with my inventory. And I want to test out this glow-sighted hunting rifle to see if it could possibly replace a sniper rifle. And I decided against it, because I definitely need a scope. It's using 308 cal ammo. If I'm going to be using that ammo, it's got to have a scope. So, decide against it. And check this out. Check out this list of active effects. I am wired for sound. Drugged and buggered up here, boss. Here's where I spam the sleeping bag till morning. Okay, yeah, that's where I did that. Okay, so if you're wondering why it's morning now, I can only sleep 5 hours in that mattress. Not sleeping bag, mattress. Okay, so it's morning time. I'm ready to rock and roll. I drank some stuff and ate some stuff, got myself ready. And let's go racing into Fort Hagen. Safest way is through the basement, or rather through the underground parking. Otherwise you have to deal with all the turrets on the roof. And this is where it gets heavy. It gets really heavy. You're going to have to deal with all these tough synths. Really tough. So I'm going to be spamming jet for the first little bit. For the first half dozen or so enemies. Just spam jet and go for headshots. Because there's too many in the beginning. Later on they kind of like get more spread out, so I can kind of like strategize and take them on one by one. But in the beginning they come at you and you'll get clobbered. Okay, so that's the plan. Laser rifle, lots of jet, headshots. And I got my jet hotkey finger on a hair trigger and ready to hit that sucker anytime I see danger.
Overactive sensors.
So there's one around the corner for sure. Take some cycle, drink some water, and it's on.
Hostiles.
Jet. There we go. Headshots. It's worth it to take your time. Save ammo.
Gone.
Rinse and repeat.
Hello. Goodbye.
Got him.
Curious.
Back away. Reload. There's a couple more around the corner to the right. Now all these synths have valuable fusion cell ammo. So this is a great way to stock up on fusion cell ammo. It's also a good reason to use fusion cell ammo, because you're going to get it replaced as you use it up.
Kellogg has ordered your termination.
Are you attempting an ambush?
No, I'm just fudging my huggies, wondering where there's more synths. In practice runs, I died a bazillion times in this area. This little area in the beginning here.
Fort Hagen is under Institute authority. Terminating
Now there is
intruder.
a drinking fountain there. I'm going to make good use of that.
Intruder in Fort Hagen. Eliminating hostile.
Once again, collecting all the Institute weaponry to get the ammo out of them, and then drop them immediately afterwards.
Kellogg's secure facility infiltrated. Termination required.
Okay, just spam that drinking fountain to get hydrated. And I'm going to fill up a couple of bottles too. There we go.
Initiate directive Sigma Omicron. Protect.
Okay, a turret just around the corner here. Get a sneak attack on it, blow it. High level synth up ahead. So beware. There he is. There he is right there. I think it's a synth strider, if I recall correctly, or a synth leader.
Kellogg. Destroy intruder.
There, synth leader. Got him. Okay, just rehydrating.
Statistically speaking, your survival is improbable.
I'm pretty sure that when you pick up weapons from containers, they don't have ammo inside the clip, so there's no point in doing that. But I just do it anyways, just to make sure. Because I haven't fully tested that yet. Picking up weapons from enemies, though, definitely gives you ammo. That is fully tested. And I did a demonstration of that, actually, in another video. Okay, watch out for the mine there, and the ceiling turret. There you go, that's down.
Hostile sensor reading detected.
This is mine. Man, I don't know why I didn't go and pick up that mine. Maybe because going through here was so successful that I didn't want to blow it. Some mines are really tricky to get, especially if they're upstairs. For example, that mine at the Starlight Drive-In, halfway up the stairs behind the screen, absolutely impossible to disarm. I've never been able to do it. Anybody out there able to disarm that mine? You know the one I'm talking about? Compensated hair trigger pipe pistol. Looks very enticing, but I have an auto pipe pistol or an auto pipe rifle that's way better.
Nice.
This is a good score. Couple of metal pieces, metal armor pieces. Okay, let's put on our new armor. Little by little getting better armor. We're up to a whopping 27 damage resistance. Hey, I'll take it. So off goes the Ghoul Slayer's leather right arm. It only gave plus 15% damage resistance against ghouls. Not exactly something to write home about. And on goes the new metal arm and leg. Okay, I'm just double checking here. Filling up some bottles. And then we're going to go hit up the elevator. And go down into the Fort Hagen interior. That's it. We're coming up near the end of this video. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. And if you thought this video was remotely entertaining and or informative, please subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this hot off the press. See you next video.